tail and the real one is spread around. Okay? So that is Al-Fajr al-Sadiq and Al-Fajr al-Kadhib. A similar story happens after the sunset. There is a difference between our school, the Shia school, Ja'fari school, and the Sunni school in what time is the time for Maghrib Salat or breaking our fast. The majority of our scholars, I'm saying the majority of our scholars, the majority of our Shia Ja'fari scholars say the sunset is not enough for breaking fast. Okay? And they need zihabu humratil mashriqiyya. They say you need to wait until the redness which creates after the sunset on the east, you need to wait until that redness is disappeared, which is the Zihabu Humrat al-Mashriqiyya, which is about 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes after the sunset, right? So after the sunset, it's Zihabu Humrat al-Mashriqiyya. The majority of our scholars, of the Shia scholars, say you need to wait for that time to break your fast and also to pray, right? Some of our scholars, like Ayatollah al-Bahja, rahimahullah, and Ayatollah Tabrizi, some of our scholars say sunset is enough. Okay? They say sunset is enough. So they have similar idea to the Sunni fuqaha in this. And both groups have many different ahadith which support them. So it depends who we follow in this matter. But yeah, that was basically the answer of your question. How to figure out what time is the Maghrib time and what time is the Fajr time if you don't have access to any website or anything, any calendar which tells you about it. Any question on this? Alhamdulillah. Okay, recite the salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajjal farajah. So this world is full of suffering. From hardship that we have sometimes in our life, from disasters and natural calamities that we find in our life, to many other diseases or illnesses that we find in our life. The question is there any way to avoid suffering in this world? This is a question not only for Muslims, has been a question for every human being who entered into this world. Is there any way to end human suffering? And it's not only a question, the question has been discussed and answered in many different sciences, especially in theology. If you have heard of Mas'alat al-Shar, the problem of evil, this is one of the main problems when it comes to arguing for the existence of God. Okay? For many atheists, they say because of all of these different evils, so God does not exist, na'uzubillah. Right? So, and ulama have provided many different answers for it. Some said the evils that you see in this world, the calamities, hardship, disasters, and disease that you see is just the side effect of the freedom that we have. We had the freedom, We misused some of the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to us. We made the pollution. We were the main cause in the change in global warming. We were basically, they say, all of the suffering that human being has is because of the freedom that he had. Okay? Some other scholars said, no, this is a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to see how patient you are when He is giving you these diseases or natural calamities or disasters that we have. Some others says Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to teach us humility and humbleness, and many other answers that our ulama have provided for us. That is not my discussion, because to think about avoiding hardship and suffering in this world is just overlooking, is just wrong. It's not the reality. That's not the fact. There is a verse in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لا أقسم بهذا البلد وأنت حل بهذا البلد ووالد وما ولد. I swear by the Father and that which was born of him. والد وما ولد. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears and swears and swears, and at the end He says, please pay attention, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي كَبَدٍ. You want it or not, we have certainly created human being in hardship. That's the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? So the question that I have tonight is that why we human beings are different in receiving hardship. How some of us are so patient and we basically enjoy or even invite challenges. And some of us are fearful and are afraid of a little bit of turbulence, a little bit of disaster, or a little bit of missing their comfort in their life. Why?
Is it because of the difference in the level of Iman?
We'll come to that. But what do we mean the difference in the level of Iman? Okay, we'll come to that. Let me give you a few examples of how different we are, right? How different we are. So for example, there is a book. So we are talking about why we are so different in facing these calamities and disasters comparing to our role models, comparing to our A'imma alayhi salam, comparing to Zainab al-Kubra salamullah alayha, comparing to Fatima al-Zahra salamullah alayha, right? So there is a book called Nisa'un خلدهن التاريخ. The women which history will recall them forever. Okay? The women which history made them eternal. And in that book, the writer, he's a Muslim, but he's a Sunni Muslim, and what he does, he goes in the history of Islam and tries to find out stories from women who history made them eternal, according to his idea, right? Nisa'un khalladahunna tarikh. That's the name and the title of the book. And in that he mentions many different ladies that both from Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam and others who could be our role models. There you find the story of Ibn Wahab. You know about what happened to him. So when in Karbala, when he was killed, they brought the head of Ibn Wahab to his mom, right? And mom returned the head, returned it back and said, when we give something to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we never take it back. Okay? This is a mom in the story of Karbala. Similar story is with Zainab salamullah alayha. You see her, all of these calamities happens to her. It's a real, if think about it. You come to Karbala, a total land which is totally foreign to you, right? And everyone around you, all of your relatives, brother, and all of the relatives that you had with you, all of them have been slaughtered. You are a captive, you're an asir, and now Yazid is asking you, how did you find it? Just put yourself in that situation. How did you see this story? Everything comes to your mind except saying that مَا رَأَيْتُ إِلَّا جَمِيلًا. I didn't see anything except beauty. So where is suffering here? What is different for Zainab that just little things happen in our life and we suffer and it comes, someone tells us something and we remember it tomorrow and after tomorrow and it burns us and we are not able to forget it. Someone comes to the masjid and tells us just a little thing. Let's say bullies us, right? We cannot forget that. Why we are so different from them? That's the question for tonight. Why? Why we are so different from them, right? How it is possible for Zainab salamullah alayha to come after all of those things that happened to her to say, I actually didn't see anything except beauty. That is amazing. The answer is, you need to go back to the definition of suffering. Okay? Please bear with me and pay more attention here. We want to analyze what do we mean and what when we say we suffer. Right? So suffering happens when something which is valuable to us is threatened or being taken away from us, right? That's suffering. So, for example, our comfort is valuable to us. If it's taken from us, or if it's threatened, we suffer. Our children, our money, our job, our body, our health, all of these things are valuable to us. We love them. We love our money, we love our job, we love our kids, we love our house, we love our car, all of these things which are surrounding us, we love them. Suffering happens when something that you love is being threatened or taken away from you. Isn't that right? Right? So that is suffering. So the problem here is that sometimes we love risky things too much. Let me explain this. Let me explain this more. The problem of human being, the problem that we suffer is something that I call it disordered love. What do I mean by disordered love? Because we love all of these things, right? We love ourselves, our self-esteem, our reputation. We love it first, right? And then we love our children, family, and money. And probably then we love our job. And probably in the fourth level, we love our religion and God and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? So the foundation of love, the first thing, which is the foundation, is our self-esteem, is our self, right? Is the reputation that we have. That's the first thing. Then probably comes our kids and family and money. Then probably comes our job. And then probably comes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in the fourth place, right? So let me explain about these three. We're talking about why human beings suffer in this world, okay? And we said the meaning of suffering is to lose something that is valuable, that is love, that you love, okay? So, and we love all of these things. And we said the answer is disordered love. If you love yourself first, and then money and family, and then your job, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what's happening here is basically none of these are eternal. All of these, there is a possibility and a risk of losing them. Right? There is a possibility that you lose your health, another possibility. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ فِي الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. And I swear that, this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I swear that I will test you. By what? نَقْصٍ فِي الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ. Reduction of your wealth and your health. That has happened, that for sure will happen. Right? So if you have any of these three as the foundation of your love, you're basically putting yourself into danger. Why? Because none of these are stable, right? If the foundation is not stable, of course you're going to suffer someday. Right? So when you love yourself and family and money first, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you put yourself in danger, because all of these are in risk of destruction and loss. Money, family, job are in the risk of loss, and when you lose them, of course you're going to suffer. So now let's imagine that you're able to reorder this disordered love and change it. And bring Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the first. If you reorder this arrangement, what's going to happen? The foundation of your love is eternal, is powerful enough that is never going to ever have any shortcoming. It's not shaky at all. Nothing is going to happen to it. Right? So no matter what happened to your job, to yourself, to your family, to your reputation, still that foundation is there. Because we said suffering happens when you lose. Suffering happens when you lose or something that you love is being threatened. Right? And if you have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as the foundation of your love, that's never being certain. That's never being taken away from you. Right? So the amniyah, amn and iman, it's very interesting that amn means security. Right? Iman and amn, iman means what? Faith. And amn means security. They are from the same root in Arabic. They are from the same root. Right? Meaning, you will not have faith unless when you feel that tranquility and security, that you're not going to suffer. And that is both iman and amniyah. That is both security and faith. Did you follow me? Let me read for you a hadith and then an ayah which actually confirms and proves what I was just saying. There's a hadith from Prophet sallallahu alaihi wa sallam. Which says, لا يؤمن or لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى أكون أنا أحب إليه من نفسه. None of you is gonna feel secure unless I am more beloved to him than himself. Why? It's the same story. Because the love of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is that is stable. But your health and none of the other things that I mentioned, none of them are stable. So if you're feeling security from those, you have to get ready to feel suffer. You have to get ready. It's just impossible. If you put your foundation on a shaky thing, you yourself know that you are not amn, you are not secure. Right? There is another ayah which says the same thing. It says, قُلْ إِنْ كَانَ آبَاؤُكُمْ وَأَبْنَاؤُكُمْ وَإِخْوَانُكُمْ وَأَزْوَاجُكُمْ وَعَشِيرَتُكُمْ وَأَمْوَالٌ اقْتَرَفْتُمُوهَا وَتِجَارَةٌ تَخْشَوْنَ كَسَادُهَا وَمَسَاكِنَ تَرْضَوْنَهَا أَحَبَّ إِلَيْكُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ وَجِهَادٍ فِي سَبِيلِهِ فَتَرَبَّصُوا حَتَّى يَأْتِيَ اللَّهُ بِأَمْرِهِ وَاللَّهُ لَا يَهْدِي الْقَوْمَ الْفَاسِقِينَ. It says, say, if your fathers, your sons, your brothers, your wives, your relatives, wealth which you have obtained, commerce that you fear its decline, and houses that you are pleased with, are more beloved to you than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger, and a struggle in His cause, wait حَتَّى يَأْتِيَ اللَّهُ بِأَمْرِهِ. Wait until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala executes His command, until the test of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes. That is the reason that Zainab al-Kubra salamullah alayha is able to enjoy, and I'm saying enjoy, because sometimes sabr has many different levels, right? Patience has many different levels. There is a hadith from Mubarak alayhi salam, which explains all of the different levels of being patient. Some of us are patient. Being patient for some of us means that, okay, we are, if in those situations we are not mad and angry. For some of us, being patient means we just, in very difficult situation, we are just silent. For some of us, we try to reflect and see what is the lesson that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put for us in that difficult situation. But for some, they say, Ya Allah, I love this challenge. You are testing me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you for making me powerful enough to be patient. And they enjoy it. Mubarak alayhi salam says, the real sabr, the real patience is your ability to enjoy in these challenges. In the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam, when Ibrahim alayhi salam is sacrificing his son, right? Then toward the end of this story, Ibrahim alayhi salam comes and he is kind of, he really doesn't, he's feeling that he was not able to do and sacrifice his son because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replaced Ismail with a shot, right? Replace him. So he at the bottom of his heart, he feels that I am probably were not able to satisfy Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's why he replaced Ismail. Then Jibreel tells him, no, وَفَدَيْنَاهُ بِذِبْهٍ عَظِيمٍ. Then he tells him the story of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Then, do you love your son more, or do you love the son of the last prophet, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And then Ibrahim alayhi salam says, of course, I love Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam much more than my son Ismail. And then Jibreel explains, وَفَدَيْنَاهُ بِذِبْحٍ عَظِيمٍ. A similar story happens to Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. In the last moments of his life, وَالشِّمْرُ جَالِسٌ عَلَى صَدْرِهِ, right? In that moment, what are the words that Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam is saying? He says, Ilahi, radam birada'ik. I am satisfied if you are satisfied. I am pleased if you are pleased. This is a prayer. If I don't tell you and I tell you, then this was a prayer that Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam made in the middle of night when nothing was happening, when he was in sajda and he was whispering with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you would believe that. But these are the words that Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam is repeating in that moment. I am satisfied if you are satisfied. That's how we can change this love. Disordered love is the foundation of human suffering. None of our role models, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, Zainab al-Kubra salamullah alayha, you can count all of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. They were not really suffering. Why? Because of this. They had Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as the foundation of their love. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as we are going through this blessed months of Ramadan, and as we are trying to fast both by our stomach and our heart, to make Him our first love in our life. ببركة صلوات على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجه.
Thank you, Mulana, for the beautiful speech. Recite loud salawat, inshallah.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
So we have 4 minutes left for Adhan. I'll go over some announcements. First, we have a short presentation tomorrow on recycling. Brother Abdul Khalili will be presenting. Friday, May 10th, we have a doctor's panel on healthcare and Ramadan. They have a doctor on diabetes, endocrinologist. May 11th, Saturday, we have a workshop on Hadith Kisa. We'll be sharing the format shortly. I'll be discussing with Awajan and then share the format. May 12th, we have a Q&A with our speaker, Maulana Sheikh Rasul Nawawi. Then May 17th, we have Quran competition for kids. We sent out the sign-up information via email. We posted on WhatsApp as well. So please sign up ASAP. We have limited seats and it's filling up fast. We also have the bins for the Alameda County Food Bank. So non-perishable food, I guess. We have, as much as we can, please donate. Last year we did 255 pounds. Let's do 300 pounds this year, inshallah. Recite aloud salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
Also, there's a massive blessing awaiting you. We have the sign-up sheet on the notice board to sign up for the programs. This month of Ramadan, we cannot really calculate the thawab we get by signing up for any small good deed. And sponsoring for programs is a huge thing, inshallah. So if you have not yet signed up, please do so at the earliest. That's also filling up fast. Inshallah, we'll have the Quran competition for adults too, which will be on the 2nd of June. Information will be shared shortly. So we have just 1 minute left. Let's recite Surah Fatiha for all the marhameen and also the names. It's not just marhameen on the monument of Zahra. They're not all marhameen. So let's recite Surah Fatiha for all the marhameen and the names inscribed on the monument of Zahra. Bismillah.
تقبل الله. بسم الله. Let's do the azan. I think the fasting is affecting everyone.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن
This is
الرحيم
just the 3rd day.
إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد الله أكبر الله أكبر جل جلاله الله أكبر الله أكبر
Fasting is affecting all of us. Your voice and my voice.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن عليا ولي الله عليه الصلاة والسلام أشهد أن عليا حجة الله عليه الصلاة والسلام حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير